everyone, today we're going to talk about the Terrex Swift R3 GTX. It is a really great choice for anyone looking for a really light and fast hiker that's also waterproof. If you're new to the channel, my name's Roxy, and I'm part of the Adventure Junkies team. We help people like you choose the right gear to get outdoors. If you want to learn more, go ahead and visit the website, www.theadventurejunkies.com. Now for what you really came for, the Terrex Swift R3 GTX. So this is the Terrex Swift R3 GTX, and they retail for $150, and they're available in women's size 5 through 11. They're also available in men's size if you want to match with your partner or get a gift for a male identifying person in your life. These are not available in wide, so what you see is what you get for wideness, I guess. After scouring reviews online, everyone agrees with me, they fit big. They are a little bigger than a 9. I wouldn't say they fit wide. I would say they are a normal width, but they are longer than other shoes that are also a size 9. And at this point, I've tried many size 9 hiking shoes. So if you like your shoes to fit you, which I assume if you're watching this video, you do, I would size down. I personally would probably get an 8.5 or an 8 in these because they're just big. They're on my foot. They're, I would say, at least 3/4 of an inch of room up top. So they are longer than most shoes. This is the Gray 5 Mint Core Black colorway, which I really like. I think it's a nice looking shoe. Adidas Terrex, they know how to make good looking shoes. They're popular for a reason. In terms of weight, these shoes are a little bit on the heavier side, and that makes a lot of sense because of they're waterproof. So there's extra materials in there to keep them waterproof. This is a size 9. It weighs 1 pound 11 ounces or 765 grams. That is for both shoes. We put them on the scale ourselves. So that is the weight. It's really confusing to like find weights online. They never mention like if it's for one or both or what size even they've weighed. So this is size 9, 1 pound 11 ounces, 765 grams, which is a little bit on the heavier side, but you're getting waterproofness in that weight. So it makes sense that it has extra ounces in there. The Terrex shoe, the R3 GTX, uses a traditional lacing system. As you can see, it is a normal lacing system, just crisscross. There's no extra eyelets or anything to change up the lacing. They do have a wide set eyelets on the bottom here, and that does help a little bit with fit, keeping your foot in place. And the top one is a little wider as well. As the GTX in its name suggests, these are waterproof shoes. So there is a Goretex liner inside there to keep water out while also maintaining some sense of breathability. In all of my testing, I found my foot to be hot. These are hot shoes because of that Goretex liner. So you want to be using these shoes in areas that it makes sense. Swampy areas, lots of rain, cooler if you're looking for a faster hiker in a cooler environment. This could be a really good choice. If you're hiking like one of those more northern trails in Vermont where you have like a ton of river crossings or something like that, these are going to be a really great choice. If you were in the desert, if you are hiking on a really hot sunny day with no water, this is a terrible choice. They will just be hot immediately because of that Goretex liner. So let's take a look at the construction. Adidas uses a mix of traditional stitching as well as welded construction. You can see here, this is the welded area, and then we have traditional stitching at the top and around the back. And the welded and traditional stitching really helps with durability. It helps with the longevity of the shoe, and it helps keep the overall weight of the shoe down. The stitching part is heavy, so with less stitching, you keep the weight down with this welded construction on the side. And then this upper is made of stiff synthetic mesh with reinforcements in key areas. So here's the mesh, and then here's reinforcements along the side and along the edge here. This shoe offers a fair amount of protection, especially around the arch of the foot, thanks to this piece called the Pro Moderator. And it's also supposed to help keep your foot from fatiguing when you have a really long day out. And there's also a nice toe cap. and some pretty good protection on the heel here. So overall, you've got a really nice wraparound of protection, and that'll help your foot on really longer days on the trail. So there's also some really nice padding around the tongue and the ankle to protect your foot and the top of your foot. I always wear a sock that's higher than my shoe, but if you're someone that wears those really short socks, that this extra pad of protection could be helpful. There is a break-in period with these shoes because of the Goretex liner, and they just are, like, they start out kind of stiff. So that could be a possible blister area for you if you're not wearing socks for protection. Moving down to the midsole, it's a EVA rubber midsole, which offers medium protection, but also maintains pretty good responsiveness. You can like feel the ground moving under your feet, but there's not too much going on. The midsole also includes this Swift R Pro moderator, which helps with stability. So they really are not that flexy of a shoe. You can't twist at all, and that's where that stability in the midsole comes in. You can't torsion it, and then you can't go up and down like that either. They're really stiff shoes. Whew. So these shoes are pretty supportive, enough support to carry heavy loads or even climb some mountains. The sock liner in here, this sole is pretty thin and offers no support. So you can remove it and add something in there with a little more support, but otherwise this one is super flexy. But the shoe itself is not flexy at all. So between the two, you can figure out the amount of support you like, add your own, or just rely on the support of the outsole and the midsole. So these shoes I would call just a medium width. They are not wide or skinny. They just fit totally fine. They are long, which we already talked about. They are not very breathable. They're a super hot shoe. So definitely pick how you'd like to use them. I would say they'd be great for some mountain climbing. They are really sort of tough shoes, and they've got a great outsole. So they would be a good pick for mountain climbing, especially because they will keep your feet warm as you get higher in elevation. This is Continental rubber. It's a softer rubber outsole, and that can be good and bad. It's good because it's super grippy. It will really help you out on more technical terrain. So softer, like granite or steep scree or whatever, it's going to be nice and grippy for you, but it also means that it's a little less durable. So in comparison to other harder rubber shoes, it's going to wear out a little faster. I have been wearing these a ton and I see no wear, so I think the softer rubber is a nice trade to keep that grippiness. So this outsole has 4.5 millimeter lugs, and they are semi-chevron shape. So it's sort of like a wider chevron, and that helps with the grippiness as you are out and about. These lugs also help with downhill traction. The way that they're shaped with a little wider, you get a little bit more traction as you're heading down the hill. This shoe has a 10 millimeter drop, so that's the distance from your heel to your toes. So sort of like this distance. You can't really tell in the liner because it's so flexy, but the heel is 10 millimeters higher off the ground than your toes. So we can also talk about stack of the shoe, and stack is how far your foot actually is from the ground. So the stack at your heels is 25 millimeters and the stack at your toes is 15 millimeters. So that's where you get the 10 millimeter drop. And I actually really like here, it has the stack and the lugs, the size on the bottom here. So it says stack 15, 25 millimeters and then lugs 4.5 millimeters. So it's just sort of nice, like if you're at the shoe or at the store, you can see exactly what you're getting on just by reading the sole, which is nice. If you're looking for specific stack or lug size. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and hit the like button so more people like you can find it. So it is super easy to lace these. It is a traditional lacing style. There is a wider eyelets at the bottom, which is kind of pretty nice. It keeps them comfy. And then just regular flat laces for these keeps the profile of the shoe down. The laces seem pretty durable. I can't imagine any issues. The sizing is a little odd. They are longer shoes, although they're normal width. So expect a size down if you want the shoe to fit a little better. I think I have around 3/4 of an inch of space at the top of my shoes. I wouldn't say these are the comfiest shoes right out of the box. They definitely have a break-in period that I'm not even sure I have passed yet. I think between the Goretex lining and just like the heavy dutiness of the midsole and the outsole just make this shoe, it's hard. It's a hard shoe. It just doesn't bend that well. So there's definitely a lot of room for break in, and I could see them being much comfier once you do break them in. They are medium supportive. Thank you to the midsole and the Pro moderator around the arch of your foot. So that will allow you to hike quite a distance without fatigue. Jury's still out on if that midsole works. I would call them medium plus supportive, not because of the liner in there, but just because of the midsole and outsole. They are super grippy. I am really liking the Continental rubber that they're using. So if you're looking for a shoe that is going to really keep you on the side of the mountain, this is going to be a great pick. And they are waterproof. They have a liner, but that causes them to be very hot. So make sure to pick the right environment to use these shoes in. Just to recap a few things on these Terrex Swifts R3 GTX, it is our top pick for the best waterproof hiking shoe. If you need a shoe that is going to keep your feet nice and dry, pick these shoes. They are $150 US dollars, and size 9 weighs 1 pound and 11 ounces or 765 grams. You can find it in size 5 through 11. It is not available in wide. What you see is what you get, but there is a non-waterproof version. So if this shoe fits you really well, but you're not digging the waterproofness, if you want a little more breathability, that could be a better pick for you. This shoe has the aesthetics of a trail runner. It looks like it would be great for trail running, but it's really built like a stout hiking shoe. It's gonna get you up those technical terrain hikes. I wouldn't call it a climbing shoe by any means, but you could definitely use this to summit 14ers. It's hardy enough to get you through more technical terrain. This could also be a really great pick for backpacking because it is so hardy. It's really gonna offer a nice support system for extra weight on your back. We think this could be a really great option for hikers looking for something that's fast and light, but also waterproof, and could be good for multi-day backpacking trips. I don't know if I would call it a through hiking shoe, but definitely multi-day backpacking. It could be a really great shoe for. I really like the grippy sole, the good support, and that it's waterproof. If you're looking for a waterproof shoe, this is a great one. I'm not so into the fact that it's not breathable, your foot's gonna get hot, and the size 9 is way longer than other size 9s. I hope you enjoyed the review. Happy hiking.